project here to enhance my welding table. You can see I've got some tubing just clamped to the bottom of the table there, and I have a second piece that slides in and out. And I bought the two pieces of metal 6-8 months ago, and it's one of those things I've been looking and thinking about it, and sometimes when I'm trying to design something for myself, I just have to walk away for any amount of time, and then one day it finally pops, and I think I got it now. So one modification since I've started this is that this piece will be mounted this way on the table, since the table moves towards us when I move it with the pallet jack and store it. I don't want something sticking out the side. Now it's not going to stick out this far. Basically I've got a 5-foot piece of metal, both are 5-foot piece, but I'm only going to have maybe a 9-inch piece here, or 9-inch piece this way under the table. I just didn't want to cut it yet till I played around with it, and I got to measure here. So I have, my table's got 1/2-inch 13 holes on the surface and on the face. So planning on a couple of tabs that come down that'll stay below the table surface so that I can put a square on the edge of the table. And this receiver will stay mounted all the time. And then in the table holes, I'll have a couple of bolts coming up from underneath. I may move the camera and show you that, or somewhere in the build here you'll see it. So why am I putting this on here? Well, I've got this Diacro bender that would be really nice to have it mounted. As you can see, it's on a piece of wood right now. I clamp it to the welding table. I've got the little clone Hausfeld design that I built some time ago. It's worked out well, and I'm looking at probably cutting the welds off of here, and I'll weld it right onto the end of one of the tooling arms. And then another vise wouldn't hurt. This was the vise that I got for free, and I repaired the jaw. It's not a big vise, but it could be. I really like the vise, to be honest with you. So that's one of the reasons. It's been sitting down here on a shelf underneath the welding table. But again, it would be useful, and one of the quick uses of it would be is that I could turn it 90 degrees also. So that's where I'm started right now. Let me move on, and we'll see what progresses here. So just planning this out. Went over in my scrap drawer, found a couple pieces of, I think it's, they're close to 3/8, aren't they? Not 1/4 inch. So that's actually what I wanted. So 1/4 inch, and we'll clean them up. I'm going to hold them just down below the surface of the table, and drill for these. What do you call it? What the hell do you call these guys? Socket head flat screws, and of course weld it, and then it'll end up getting welded to the tube here to support it. So I've got my two mounting pieces. Had those in the scrap drawer, so I'll start processing those, and then we'll take a look underneath while we're at it here. Okay, now we're viewing from the back side, and this is basically almost 2.5 inch outside diameter, and the holes are at about 3 inches on center in my table from the edge. So I don't have enough clearance to attach right here with some sort of welded bracket. So what I'll do is I'll come across the bottom here and pull it up that way. So there'll be a bracket here pulling up to the table, and then the one on the front. And I think that's going to give us good support. I don't want to weld anything to the table. I like not destroying products that I've purchased. It's just try to enhance them, but I'm not big on drilling holes and things, and When I have to, I do it though. Anyway, so it kind of shows you the idea here. This is one item I set up some time ago for my chop saw. These two arms that come out. Thought I'd share this. This is where this adjustable height table comes in to be very handy. So I'm just picking up the tubing there so I don't have to carry it, hold on to it. Well, truth be told, you can see down there on the floor is the chop saw. I couldn't cut spaghetti with that son of a bitch. So I fooled around long enough with it, and the old plasma is being recruited here. So I got a piece of angle iron in here for a straight edge, and we will whack this guy off. Cut it off. Well, I thought I'd do a little hand holding here of the camera. So I mounted the tube, got a clamp there, and I've numbered the holes 1 and 2 because they're at different heights, whoever built the table when they drilled it. So you can see I have a transfer screw in there, you know, one of these little sets that you, it's a 12-13. So I got the transfer screw in there. I marked the height on both sides, how far I wanted it down off the top of the table. And then I gave myself an edge line also, what I'm shooting for. Hold the piece on it, tap it, and I get my location so that both pieces will be the same height off of the table. So to the drill and get some clearance holes, chamfer them, when I get them all set up, then I'll be ready to weld those onto here. Another quick little handhold to show you where it's at right now. So I've made the brackets countersunk for the bolts. So I need to basically clean the parts up, get them ready for welding, and we'll be welding these right to the side of the tube. I forgot to turn on the microphone on the camera, so this is a voiceover. I just wanted to show you I used my knife grinder with the table at a 45 degrees to chamfer the parts for the attachment to the weld table, rather than doing it in the mill with the chamfering bit. And it worked out real sweet, and it was very, very simplistic to do and fast. I also, let's see where they are. There you can see the nice finish I got on it. And then I also did weld prep on the back side, went deeper on it. So these two parts will be ended up being welded onto that tube there, and then it'll bolt and come over here, and Bozo caught me right there. Ended up going too quick and forgot to turn the part over for the weld prep. So I had the weld prep on the wrong side. Yeah, it happens. But we get it all welded up and move on to the next attachment. Well, I've got it welded up, And now I'm working on the inside piece. And I had a block of steel from a project long ago that I just cut in half, and it's got oversized holes. But it works. So you can see it right here. 1/2-inch bolts going up into the table, pulling tight on the table. Got the C-clamp pulling it against the tube, and get a weld in there. And I think that's going to work out real good. It's very tight up here. I'd have to try to see if I could even sneak an Allen head in there, and it's really not worth the effort for what I'm building here. So get out the MIG welder and MIG weld these guys. Okay, it's all mounted. Now you can start making arms for the different tools. Give it the spaghetti bender test. There you go, 230 pounds on the end of it. I'm gonna end up putting one of these adjustable locking handles. One of those guys. That'll go down right in here, so I can lock it once the tool's in, and start making various toolbars to see how it's going to work out. Kind of excited about it. Well, first mock-up of putting a tool, got a tooling arm in there, and now on this one I need to decide whether to cut these welds and lower this and put it onto here, or just weld on the bottom here. But it'll progress, but first look at trying to get a tool set up on this. Okay, project's finished up, and I ended up putting 2 handles on it, and let me show you the application. There's the diacro. Give it a little tighten. Solid as a rock. Ugh. They're all heavy now. We all know what a vise looks like mounted, but this is the nice thing about this, is that I can mount the vise sideways. So it can be up top, or it can be sideways, where you can hold something vertical. And finally, my homemade copy of a Hosfield bender. And I'm really pumped with this going in here. This will be really sweet for me. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm really pumped on the upgrade and enhancement to my shop. I have to mention in the past video where I had added electrical outlets for all my welding units. The fact that I can just run over, turn on a bottle, and weld, just super. Love doing shop enhancements. Make it so I'm working smarter and not harder. Anyway, it was a very fun project. Thanks again for stopping by the shop, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Well, I was putting the tooling away. I just put a plywood shelf down below for now. I think I'm going to make a rack, though, that would have the tools facing up, so I don't have to bend over to pick them up. But in that I came across this piece and decided to build this real quick. And there seems to be a lot of times when I put something in the vise and I want to rest it on the table, but when the vise clamps down, it's over here. So ended up this is sitting flush with the the pipe in the vise. And then if I was to set something on top of the vise or up close top, I've got a mark here. Just bring it up, and that's even with the vise. I got a feeling that's going to be handy for a lot of different things. So just another little addition onto the table. I think there'll be more ideas that might come from this.